So I'm here in California in Redwood National Park. Now I've been doing a road trip for about almost a week now, and I haven't been able to do any videos yet. I started off in the salt flats of Utah. I was able to get a pretty decent picture there. Then I drove up, did the Pacific Northwest, so drove up through the desert of northern Nevada, went to Oregon, and then Washington. And I did go to Olympic National Park, which Olympic National Park was pretty nice, but it was raining really heavy, so I wasn't really able to get too many pictures there. But I still did a little hiking around and driving around, which it was pretty good. Mount Rainier and North Cascades National Park were closed, so I wasn't able to go there. And then I ended up driving the coast down from Olympic National Park, and then I cut in a little bit and went to Crater Lake National Park, which Crater Lake was pretty nice, but I was there for about 5 minutes, and then this big cloud and fog rolled in over the lake, so I couldn't see anything. But I was able to get a couple nice self-portraits there, as well as a nice image of Wizard Island that I'm pretty happy with. So yeah, so now I'm in the Redwoods, and it is the middle of the day, and as you can see, it's very cloudy and everything. But I decided to take a hike through the woods here, and hopefully maybe just get a photograph of the ferns and some of the big sequoia trees, because it is pretty soft light with the overcast, so daytime photography could be possible. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep going and try and find something. So actually I might have found an image already. There's this tree way over there on the hill, and it's kind of looking pretty nice. It's got the nice fall colors, so the orangish, and there's some like fog or mist rolling in kind of right over top of it, over top of the green trees. So I'm gonna kind of go up over here a little more, set up, and try and compose this image, and it might turn out all right. So I set up here kind of fast because the fog is rolling in and out very quickly. So as the fog rolls in and out, the scene just looks completely different. But yeah, this tree is pretty nice with the nice orange leaves, and then behind it I have just the dark green trees, so it provides separation, and then I'm only including the hill on the bottom, and that's all. So no filters or anything, just shooting at ISO 64, f11, 1/113th of a second, just focusing right on the tree. And yeah, as the fog moves in and out, it makes it pretty interesting. And then it is actually blowing out the sky, because in order to get the proper exposure for the trees, I've got to blow out the sky. But since it is mist, I'm not too worried about that, because it just kind of adds a little bit of drama to it. But yeah, looking pretty good. That's what shooting in the middle of the day isn't too bad when you have fog and smoke like this, because it just adds a nice element to your photographs and just adds a little bit of drama to it. So even though there's not that nice dramatic light, which would be even better with the fog, it still makes for some pretty interesting images. So I'm taking another picture of this tree right up there, and I'm zoomed in as far as my lens will go, which is 120 millimeters. And yeah, I'm just taking more images of this nice tree on the hill with the mist and nothing else. And this is another one. It is kind of an orange tree, but it's really hard to tell with all the fog. But yeah, and then as just the fog rolls in and out, it makes it a lot more interesting. This is just a real nice spot to take pictures right here. So I'm moving on, seeing what else I can find. Yeah, the fog's really rolling into this forest right here, so hopefully the trail will kind of go through the woods, and then I might be able to get another interesting photograph. That's because we do have all those nice ferns in there, and really up here where I am in the national park, there's not much of the big sequoia trees, so I'm not sure if there's some more later on the trail or not, but because that's what I really wanted to photograph, even though they're very challenging to photograph, because earlier I did a quick trail today and tried to take a picture of them, but they're just so big it's hard to put them in scale or get a pleasing image out of them. And this trail is going completely down this ridge here, so it's not too bad now, but the going back up is gonna be a little rough because I haven't really done much hiking at all on this trip in the last 5 days. A lot of just kind of sleeping in my car and driving around, a lot of driving. So yeah, I'm excited to actually be able to get out and explore a little bit. So I've decided to head back. Yeah, I went a couple miles on this trail and I'm still not seeing any of the big trees. So this isn't quite the spot. There is a spot on this trail. It's about 5 miles in and it's called Tall Tree Grove, which I really wanted to get to, but it's quite the descent to get there. And I'm already getting a little exhausted and don't feel like walking all the way down then all the way back up. So yeah, I'm gonna head back to the car. Maybe find another trail here in the Redwoods to go explore and take pictures of, or maybe just head on down the coast and see what I can see, because I'm going to be traveling down Highway 1, and then where I'm going to stop I really don't know. So I managed to find another trail, and this one does have a lot of big trees in it, a lot of huge trees, which is awesome. But again, like I said, I have no idea how I'm going to photograph these. Yeah, but it is a real thick woodland here, so a lot of the light from the sky isn't getting in, which is good. It is getting in to kind of illuminate everything, but not so if I take a picture, I'm going to try and not get the sky in it, because the sky will be blown out, because it's still kind of foggy. And even through here, there's a little bit of mist in places in that, which hopefully I'll be able to capture. But yeah, I'm just gonna hike on this trail for a bit and search for compositions. Yeah, then very humid here as well, and kind of hot. It's actually not too bad. It's maybe 60 degrees, but the humidity, and it's just so moist in the air. Oh, it's pretty brutal. But yeah, and as for what I'm looking for, I have no idea. I guess I'll know when I see it, but there is a lot of these yellowish orange leaves around, which those would look very interesting in a composition, maybe as a foreground element, and as well as the ferns. So the ferns are also very interesting. So I'd like to try and put those in the foreground as well. So I'm just trying to find some sort of somewhat clearing, because it is real thick through all here. So some sort of clearing where I can actually see the trees. But yeah, I'm just going to keep exploring and see what I can see. And it is a bit hard to go off trail here just because it is so thick. And there's really nowhere that looks like I could go off trail that would be worth taking a picture at. But if I see it, I'll definitely bushwhack my way off the trail, that's for sure. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do a panorama, because we've got this nice kind of open fern meadow, I guess you'd call it, I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I'm trying to get all this in the scene with just the ferns in the foreground and then the big trees in the background. But I'm really not sure how it's going to come out. I'm shooting 6-second exposure, f11, ISO 64, and I'm focusing just a third of the way through the scene, which I'll have to check it after I take this round of shots to see if it got it sharp all the way through. And yeah, the sky is in my scene and it is getting blown out pretty bad, which since it's misty, I don't mind that too much. And there's nothing I can do about it. I can't even use a filter or anything, just because then it'll make the trees too dark, and the trees are already dark enough. And then I am taking another set of shots for the pano, because I might have to focus stack it because the foreground wasn't sharp. So now I'm focusing as close to the lens as possible, and then just doing the whole panorama around again. Same with the 6-second exposure, ISO 64, f11. Yeah, really, the conditions could be better here if there was actually light streaking through and we had light beams. Other than that, the conditions here I don't think would get any better, because sunset wouldn't matter because you won't be able to see the clouds. And this makes it a nice mellow light. It's not too harsh. There's really no too harsh shadows or highlights, except for in the sky. So I'm going to end the video here. The trail kind of went in a loop and I'm almost back to the car. Didn't find anything else to photograph. I mean, this is an amazing spot, don't get me wrong. Like, the hiking through here is spectacular. And you're just dwarfed by all these huge trees. So it's a pretty nice, spectacular place to visit. But a challenging place to photograph, that's for sure. There's just so much going on and it's just really hard to get a good composition, or at least I found it really hard. So yeah, now I'm going to start just heading south through California. And yep, really don't know where my next stop is, but we'll see. I'm just kind of going as I go on this road trip here. Well, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.